Guess who's back? It's Matilda. She'll come. Just probably. Oh, there's one cat coming. Oh, there she is. Hiding in the bush. Hiding in the tree. Skya, you might want to go. There you go. Yeah, thanks for breaking again. What's that? Oh yeah, and here's Sky. Putting a little camera. So, Sky. Yeah. Sky, yeah. You're not having no attention on me, okay? Stop. Yeah. Enjoy your food, Matilda. More water. I should give you some water with it. Oh, that's not. We'll be right back. There's Matilda. Just give her some water or her food. Cause watch what she'll do. She'll probably do it. Just because there's a lot of cats around. Like literally a lot of cats around. There you go. So you can easy to, oh yeah, there we go. Oh yeah. That's a big animal. Look at that tail. Big fluffy tail. Hello. Oh, yeah, girl. We just looking. Little black Lily. Lily the gardener cat. Come here, you. Come here, you. Okay. And that's it. We will see you next time.
I can't see, people. Something happened to my eyes today. It's like really bad. Why am I not surprised? You go to the city council and you come back and 2 days later your eyes are 10 times worse. What do you think happened to me? You know what? Honestly, whatever that public meeting was for an application to develop, honestly, people, Andre said there's a bin in here somewhere, but I can't see. Yeah, there's a bin right there. Look, they cleared out, oh my, this would help. Look, these big ass trucks are gonna be coming up and down this fucking alley. Look, they cleared this all out. Okay? What I went to, from my understanding, was an application to develop. But to me, it looks like they're already developing, people. This makes me think the city took a bribe. And they passed this even before it even went to the public. That's what I mean. These guys are coming in with numbers as their company. calling it BC Limited with a whole bunch of numbers in front. Okay? Do you know what this is like? Okay, you know, if you could, like a village, you know, like when the natives had the land and those people came in on the boat and just started slaughtering everybody and burned their teepees and burned their huts and killed the women, killed the children, you know, took some of the men for slaves, and, you know, right, whatever. Just went from village to village to village and just decimated them. Happens in the Congo, right? Happens in Africa. It happens all over the place. But normally when they do this kind of stuff, look, there's a black cat. Have you lost your home? Or are you... Well, who are you? Huh? You know, this is how they displace the animals. I got Matilda showing up at my house now. She probably lived in one of these trees, people. They cut down all the trees. All the trees are gone. They're gone now. Gone. Oh, they left one. Oh, whoop-de-fucking-do. Whoop-de-fucking-do, but they'll tear it down. They'll tear these ones down, you can see. They'll tear these ones down as soon as they tear down the duplex. But this, you know, this is no different. Where am I? This is no different, people. The only difference between what's happening here in British Columbia, Canada, compared to some other place where an invading force, literally, when an invading force comes in with their machetes, their guns, you know, their fire sticks, and they set everything on fire. They slaughter the women, they slaughter the children, they slaughter whoever they want to fucking slaughter, and they just destroy everything in the town, and then they go to another town, and that's what they do, people. Well, this is the same kind of shit. The only thing is they do it insidiously, okay? They're doing it insidiously. They're doing it so that you don't really quite notice it until it really gets to your back door and you're faced with homelessness. And by that time, half your family's dead, like mine, or they're locked up in jail, or maybe they've been medically kidnapped and locked up into an old folks' home, you know, or maybe some of them got crazy through all the stress and ended up in mental institutions, or maybe they signed up now with the assisted suicide, okay? Because they can't handle the fucking stress. Because this is no fucking different than coming in with an invading force and just tearing down one hut after another hut after another hut. Okay? They just don't do it all at one time, and they're not as violent about it. But it doesn't mean that they're not being violent, people, because they are. Okay? And it's obvious the city took a fucking bribe here. Okay? Why are they calling a public meeting? Why are they calling a public meeting if this shit's already in the works? Seriously, what was the point of me going there and saying anything other than to be targeted? And clearly I was targeted because when I walked out of there, I know, didn't seem like I walked out of there with respect, but I apologize. I'm sorry. I gotta get out of here because clearly, whatever I had to say went in one ear, basically, and out the other, because they're not going to acknowledge illegal organ harvesting as they go from house to house to house to, you know, destroy the house from the inside first by picking off one here, picking off one there. Sure, you didn't come in with a fucking machete and started chopping everybody up in the, you know, in daylight from house to house to house for people to really realize what you're doing. No, you do it. You spread it out. You make it sporadic so it's not so noticeable. So, and you turn the people in the neighborhood against the victims to these crimes that these individuals commit. For what? Fucking profit? Profit? Yeah. Well, if you're so profitable, why don't you do this shit in your own fucking country? You've got billions of people that you can screw around with. But no, you got to come to Canada and you got to do it here, which makes you an invading fucking force, especially when you've got a band of Punjabis over there, a band of Punjabis over there, a band of Punjabis over there, a band of fucking more Punjabis over there, and as they're plotting and scheming how they can go from the houses that they don't own or they don't live in, and how they can destroy them and destroy those families so they can go to the city and say, look what we built. Look what we built. Yeah, it's going to be cockroach fucking bedbug infested with a bunch of full of mice, with hungry people paying out exorbitant amount of rent to crooked landlords who more than likely will be a bunch of fucking Punjabis. Seriously. Seriously, and nobody wants to say anything about it. Right? Like, I'm really thinking the city took a fucking bribe here, people. Why is it like this? They're clearly getting ready. They tore down the trees. That's what they did. There was trees here. They're gone. They're gone. They got the approval before it even went in front of city council. That whole thing was a charade. A freaking charade. Because these guys with all this fucking money, they're paying off the politicians. That's why. To go from hut to hut, from house to house, for the ones that they can tear apart and destroy and kill off. Interesting how my eyes got worse in a 2-day period. Huh? Don't you think? Yeah. Why is Sook standing there with all his gear on, his walkie-talkie and all this shit? Why was he there? He does day shift. He goes around harassing people during the fucking day. He doesn't follow people out of city council meetings. Unless, of course, maybe he's a handler. Right? 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 Yeah. What? Because I'm speaking out? Yeah. Won't be long before they tear down that house, this house, and that house. And then these owners, they're going to be harassing these owners to sell. And if they don't want to sell, they'll be targeted and their kids will start dying. That's what's going to fucking happen. Yeah. It's bullshit. Total fucking bullshit, people. Oh. Sure. What did they do? I know they kicked out the woman in the basement. Told them that they were going to build in the summertime. This is all being torn down. Look at these trees. They don't care about trees. They don't care about trees any more than they care about people. Okay? They don't even believe in God, people. Their idea of a quality life is live a good life, get what you can get out of it, and then fucking die. And don't look back, because there's nothing to look back on because you're dead. So this must be why they do it. Okay, so what is this? Proposed. This is proposed. So if it's proposed, why are they tearing everything down? Okay? Proposed rezoning. Because it's already been... There's a bribe in here, people involved. Okay? Somebody's given the green light for an invading force to come in here and slaughter communities. But just don't make it noticeable. Okay? Because if you make it noticeable, people will fight back. But we don't want them fighting back. We want to take them out one by one. One over here, one over there, one over there, you know? And then it's not so noticeable. And then we can blame the family for all the death and the injury that's in the family itself after these things are done doing what they've done to us. Okay? Literally. All right? Uncle John didn't medically kidnap himself. ShaMay didn't murder herself. Ciera didn't lure herself off to her own death with the cops guarding the door. Amari didn't injure himself after 5 days of being in labor. That was done by a Punjabi. It was done by a Punjabi that harvested ShaMay's organs. It was a Punjabi social worker from fucking Britain, of all places, that facilitated the two of them. One was at the Ciera Memorial Hospital, was, I guess, a Canadian Punjabi, right? And a British Punjabi at the old Yale Center that facilitated the medical kidnapping of Uncle John. Punjabi, 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 Punjabi. Okay? You do the fucking math here, okay? This is their proposal. Proposed number of units, 77 units. Proposed floor area ratio, whatever. They want to put you in a fucking box, right? And feed you bugs. Let's face it, okay? They're not going to give you quality fucking food, right? Because they're tearing down the apple trees, the walnut trees, the pear trees, the cherry trees, every fucking tree, the walnut tree, the acorn tree, the fig trees, right? The hazelnut trees. They're tearing them all down, okay? So don't fool yourself, all right? You're going to be completely dependent on them to feed you because they own the majority of the fucking farms now, people, okay? And if they don't own the majority, that's what they're shooting for. So that they can control everything. As they're buying off the politicians. And the politicians are sacrificing the Canadian people for this crap. Application, agent. Well, they give you the agent guy name, but they don't give you the company name, which is just a bunch of fucking numbers. Who would remember numbers? What are they hiding? What are they hiding? Well, yeah, it's just a number from one band of men to another band of men to another band of men to another fucking band of men. That's all it is. Men, 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 men. They bring in the men, people. And then they sell off the women for wives. That's what they do. Okay? Oh, sure, some of them get to choose who they want to marry. But not all of them, people. Not all of them. They say they want to bring in the men because it's so hot in India. They want to run away from that. No, that's not it, people. They're not bringing in the men to run away from hotness. They're bringing in the men to be an invading force. To destroy things. Okay? To fucking destroy things. That's what they're doing. This building sits empty. That other building with all those blaring lights, they started hanging red shit over it. Yeah. Is this even on? I don't know. I can't tell. I guess I'll find out when I get home. I don't know. My eyes are so bad. Interesting. Standing next to Sook, and all of a sudden I can't see shit. Trust me, these energy weapons that they use, whoever is using them, because you know it's more than one. Got them going through my yard, got them going through my house. Yeah. I'm sure they've already passed through me. They come up behind you. I want to see if this thing is even working. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah. It's bullshit. And there's another band of men over there with all their fucking 7 trucks later, big ass trucks, to go tear down more houses. Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah. This board director, he was working as a lawyer to bring these guys in. Yeah. I know. It's not to make a wholesome life for a family. No. Not at all. It has nothing to do with that, people. It's to take over the land. It's to take over. It's to take over. It's to take over. The country. You think they're just satisfied with BC? No. They're not satisfied with BC. They're just hitting us hard. They go after the old, the kids, the babies, the teenagers, and people like me. Right? In terms of, you know, I'm not some bigwig business executive that can take a bribe. Literally. Right? I don't care. Call it for the way you see it. I've been around these guys since I've been little, people. Okay, it was a Hindu that beat my mom to death. Right. She died from that. Cops tried to cover that shit up, said she fell off the bed. That's why her face was all bruised up. No, people, she didn't fall off the bed. She was beaten to death. That's why her face and her body was all blue. Okay? Right? And that was a Hindu. Someone that came from India. Right? I know how these landlords work because my mother used to go and paint their houses for them, you know, just so that she could live in it. Something like what I've been doing all these years, working like a dog in a yard. Or being held hostage to a fucking yard that ended up practically making me blind and targeted my family for nothing but death. Or injury. Yeah. As I'm being told to, well, you know, you're gonna have to get out soon. We don't care where you go. Because we're improving the neighborhood. We're making affordable housing, but just not for you and your kind. No, because we know you're not gonna want to eat bugs. So yeah, you can say goodbye to these trees soon. Yeah, what? Blame it on murder by fentanyl? Is that it? Is that what they're gonna do? Blame fentanyl for the shit that they bring into the community? Yeah, that's what they do. Who do you think runs the drugs in the community? Same people who are body snatching and in partnership with crooked surgeons, right? Punjabi ones at that, with their own operating team, to which the government is so gracious to pay because, you know, the government pays their wage, right? If there was no government paying their wage, they wouldn't work, right?